All right, what's up, guys? Mr. Hankins here. Today, I'm going to talk to you about melody. I know a lot of people have trouble understanding melody, so this is going to be a two-part video which takes you through the idea of what melody is, and then part two is going to help you come up with some ways to create melodies. So if you think about melody, first thing that comes to my mind is superhero. The melody is your superhero of the song. That means that superhero is going to appear in the most amount of scenes. All the focus is on that superhero. So that melody it's stronger, it's bigger, it's more in the front. Think about this part of my song should stand out. It should stand high and above everything else. But it doesn't necessarily mean you just turn the volume up, but it should have more of a presence is a better way to think of it. Your melody should be obvious. If you think about a superhero movie, in the movie, the superheroes have their own theme songs, and it's very obvious when that character shows up on the screen because you also hear the music behind them that signifies, hey, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Superman has shown up to save the day. So in your song, your melody should be like a strong superhero character. And if you think about superhero movies, the main character is often represented by strong melodic music because the composer wants you to remember that character and for it to be obvious that they are on the screen. So if you need a good example of a strong melody, just think about music that goes to your favorite superhero character. So melody should be memorable. If you think about great melodies, most people can hum the melody to you and you can say, oh, I know where that's from. They don't even have to sing you the rest of the song and you say, I got it. So another way to think about that is melodies are memorable, but melodies are memeable. People love communicating in memes nowadays. So if you can think about your melody almost as like a meme, like how can I make people hear the thing that I'm making and they go, oh, I know what that's from. I get that joke. I get that reference. So think about melodies as being memorable or memeable. Examples of melodies that you probably hear all the time, just never thought about. Think about commercials and jingles, little catchy tunes that get stuck in your ear, what they call an earworm. Think about some famous jingles, McDonald's, ba 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 ba, I'm loving it. It's short, it's quick, but it's memorable. Or like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. There's probably things that you hear all the time, little sound effects, little noises, PlayStation. Every company has a little jingle or melody that they make because they want you to remember their product. So every time you think of McDonald's, you hear the da 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 da. You're like, oh, I want to go eat McDonald's now. Other classic melodies are classic songs like Jingle Bells, for instance. That's something everybody remembers and they know. As soon as you start singing the first few words of it, everybody can join in. Traditional songs like the national anthem, your ear recognizes it very quickly. Because cultural songs like Happy Birthday, again, another song that people instantly recognize. Religious songs, Amazing Grace, even if you've never gone to church or didn't grow up in church, you probably have heard Amazing Grace and you know what it sounds like because the melody is memorable. All right, so part two, how do we actually make melodies? If you think about melodies, they're different than chords. When someone is playing chords, the chords tend to be what I would call a circle. They loop, they go around and around, and they play the same thing over and over again. The melody, I would think, is more of line. So it's going forward, you're going towards a goal. The melody is going to change more often than the chords. It's going to have more variation, more variety, more distinction, more diversity, more colors. So one way to think about how you create melodies, I've come up with 3 steps in which a way to memorize it is sep, step, and rep. So sep is short for separate. Step is like stairs, steps, and then reps is repetition. Like when someone pushes weights, they say doing reps. Separate means your melody should not appear in the same register or octave where your chords from your loop are. So if you see right here, like I said, this is 1 octave. This rectangle I'm drawing from C to C is a rectangle, is an octave. So I don't want my melody to also be in that same range because it's not going to stand above. Any melody I'm about to create, I want to separate it up and above to the next octave. And melodies usually sound better in higher octaves. Number 2 is to step. What I would do is I'd first play my loop, and then I'd find one note, just one to start off with, that sounds like it goes with those chords. And I literally just took that same note, one after another, and put them in line, because now we're going to work on the step. So now, as I said earlier, your chords, you see how those chords, they pretty much stay in the same general area. You don't want that for a melody. You want your melody to step. So now what I'm doing is I'm stepping the notes up and down to find variation. You don't want things just to go up, down, up, down. That's too predictable. So again, when I say step, it's just using the idea that your melody on your DAW should look more like steps than a flat piece of land straight across. The third step is reps or repetition. So all music is repetitious or repeats itself. So the whole idea behind music is that repetition is what makes music music. In the case of melody, there will be some degree of repetition. So if you think about the Happy Birthday song, as I brought up earlier, so the first parts of Happy Birthday are the same, but then they change, same start, but they finish a little different. So right here on from bar 1 to 2, I'm going to go with this note and this note and this note and this note. And I'm going to go from bar 2 to 3. I'm going to do the same thing just so we have some repetition. But I'm going to vary it slightly because I actually kind of like how it sounds now. So if you see from bar 1 to 2, I've got the same 4 notes. But then when I get to bar 3, maybe I take it up. So now let's listen. Dun 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 dun. So the last thing I'll tell you guys is this is not something I can teach you per se, but I can tell you. All music, all art, all creativity is about your creativity, your intuition, your inclination towards what you think feels right. So yes, there are some parts of music which are just purely, I have to make sure this note sounds right and not out of tune. And yeah, there's some rules to music that obviously make music what it is. But the creative part, which is up to you, is something I can't teach you. You have a way that you hear melodies, and part of the missing ingredient is not just knowing how to do something, but knowing what you want. Go inside your own mind, close your eyes and say, okay, what note do I think comes next? Okay, what do I hear coming next? Hum it out. If I'm dun 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 no, dun 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 no, dun dun, you might have to hum it out loud just to hear what's in your head. I mean, that's part of music, is stuff you hear in your head has to come out of your mouth, or onto the keyboard or wherever, because if it's stuck inside your head, you'll never hear it with your ears. So don't get bogged down with, oh, melodies, I don't know how to do it. Think, what do I want first? And then take the 3 steps that I just gave you on how you can maybe construct some melodies. Hope this helps. I'll see you next time to talk about beats, rhythm and beats, and then we'll get into bass. All right, till next time.